What is up and welcome back everyone. Today we're working on the Forester again because, well, it's parts day at Flat 4 Off-Road, so it means we get to install some new parts on the Forester. So today is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. One, because I just need to, and the other thing is I killed my old air compressor, so I needed something proper for this car. So what we got is an AirB air compressor. We're doing onboard air on the Forester, which is really exciting. It's something that I've really wanted to do on this car for a long time because having it built in the car is so much better. So we've actually already kind of figured out where we want to mount it up right in here. And one other thing I just want to kind of show is, be sure you're watching out because I've got some new other fun stuff that we're going to be installing. Not this video, but probably in the next couple of videos. So let's go ahead and start installing this air compressor. If you weren't here last episode, you guys know that we put a snorkel in my Subaru Forester. Well, that actually freed up some space where the airbox used to go. So that's where we'll be putting our AirB compressor actually. So we were just removing some bolts here, some components, some stuff we didn't need. But now that we kind of have it planned out, that's gonna slap right in there. And you might be asking yourself, this might not look familiar to some of you. I bet you a lot more of you are familiar with the bigger dual pump AirB setup that you see on most rigs. Well, this is a Subaru, and this isn't running 35. So me and Austin were talking at Flat 4 Off-Road, trying to figure out exactly what we wanted to do for an air pump. Obviously, you can go with the more portable ones, but I wanted to do something that was more hard mounted in my car. So we eventually settled on this AirB single compressor because it's smaller and it does the job perfectly for the Subarus. With that being said, if you are in Canada and you're looking to do something similar, reach out to us and we can definitely get you set up with something very similar. As I said, it's perfect for Subarus or even stuff probably up to like a 33 wheel. You could do 35s with it. It would just take a little longer than the dual compressors. But yeah, let's go get it installed now.
Or the Kootenays.
And well, that went easier than expected. As I said, we just removed a couple things and just maneuvered them down here. And we have it mounted up really nice and strongly. I think that was the easy part though, because the next part of installing this is figuring out the wiring harness. And there's a harness that runs all the way down on the ground here that does some stuff. And then there's a big loom that has, I don't know, it's got like 10 different cables running off of it. So we got to figure out what we need to run and what we don't need to run, because this kit is also made for lockers. So there's some stuff that we obviously don't need. Really all we need is some power and a switch to turn it on and off, and I think we should be good, but we're checking out the manual now. So once we get it figured out and we are actually starting to wire it up, I'll show you guys. So see you in a minute. So check that out. That's installed. We've got our wiring. We're still cleaning up the wiring, but I just want to show you how it works before we finalize it. But essentially we've got that all hooked up to the battery. We did have to wire up like the ignition in the car and stuff, but as you saw, it's all nice and cleanly installed, and then it runs down here. Here's some plugs that we terminated in the car because we obviously don't need these. These are for solenoids if you're doing lockers, but we don't because we're just using it to fill our tires. And then we have our air pressure detector to make sure it doesn't just like explode. And then obviously our connection for the line that then runs to our tires. So it is all installed and ready to go. So let us just clean up these wires and then I'll give you the final look. And there we go. Check it out. I now can plug this into any of my tires on my car and fill them up pretty darn quickly. So we have officially wired up our AirB single air compressor on board our Subaru Forester. So that is pretty awesome. We did, as I said, only extra thing we needed was here, but the wiring harness was there. Wiring harness had a lot of extra things that we didn't need for like air compressors or air lockers and stuff, but other than that, it was pretty awesome and it went pretty smoothly because those are 2 stock bolt holes right there. So we mounted it up and then we just ran it across where the old hood detection was for the command start all the way across. And for running the wires into the car, actually we just took out an old line for the command start that was using like a hood sensor that actually didn't work at all. So we actually just pulled that through and ran our wire from that. So that actually goes right into there, right into the car. And while on the inside of the Forester, it's even simpler. We simply have this switch right here. And there we go, we officially have onboard air on our Subaru Forester. That's a pretty good upgrade from the old air compressor I was using. That was like just a battery air combo. We'll be able to fill up our tires no problem with this. And it's something that's always in the car and always ready to go with a flick of a switch. So I'm pretty happy with that. As I mentioned, this was all done obviously through mine and Austin's off-road parts company, Flat 4 Off-Road. So if you're looking for one of these in Canada, let us know and we can get you set up. This is the perfect combo for a Subaru Forester. As you guys know, we aren't running 35, so this will fill it up really nice and quickly. I do have some upgrades in mind for the air system on the Subaru, but that won't be for a while because I think we're gonna be pretty happy with this. So you'll have to look out for it on our next trail run, which I'm actually doing in a couple of days, but you guys will probably have to wait a week for it. So until next time, peace out and stay humble.